my childhood best friend, who was always so distant, suddenly told me he had a crush on someone he couldn't have. I egged him on. Go for it. Get them into bed, then play the victim and make them take responsibility. My friend looked at me, his gaze dark. Okay, your call. Later, as I was lying sore all over in a trashed bed, I threw a punch at the guy next to me. You really are a son of a bitch. When I finally woke up around noon, I found Sam sitting in my living room. He seemed to be spacing out. A tuft of hair, usually perfectly styled, was sticking straight up. Not that it looked dumb. With a face like his, he could be bald and still look good. I yawned and plopped down next to him, slumping against him like I didn't have a bone in my body. I casually threw a leg over his thigh. So, Sam, you finally decided to stop being a hermit? His eyes glanced at my restless leg but didn't push it off. I wasn't being a hermit. Then what's been up with you the last few days? You skipped basketball, bailed on wings, didn't even reply when I asked you to game, and wouldn't open your door when I knocked. I shot him a look. Don't tell me you were busy. I already asked your dad. He told me you've just been holed up in your room. Are you thinking about your mom again? I said those last few words carefully. When we were kids, Sam had a sudden craving for a snack. His mom went out to buy it for him. Tragically, she got into a car accident and never came back. A lot of people whispered behind his back, saying Sam was the one to blame for his own mother's death, that he was a jinx. Every word was a knife twisting in his heart. After that, Sam, who had always been a rebellious spirit in everyone's eyes, became quiet, withdrawn, and mature beyond his years. He's been that way ever since, and now we're 20. As his best friend, the one who'd been inseparable from him since we were kids, I was worried he was dwelling on the past, so I always stayed by his side. When he missed his mom, I'd hang out with him all day, trying to cheer him up. If anyone dared to say a bad word about him to his face, I'd roll up my sleeves and get ready to fight. My parents were in full support of this. Thankfully, this time Sam denied it. He shook his head. No, it's about relationship stuff. I breathed a sigh of relief. I immediately glanced toward the front door and said with complete confidence, all right, spill. My parents aren't home. After all our years as brothers, as your honorary dad, I'll definitely help you protect your fragile teenage heart. I'm not sure which word set him off, but the corner of Sam's mouth twitched down slightly. Leo, something's wrong with me. What's wrong? He said, I think I'm falling for someone I shouldn't be. I paused. Huh? What do you mean, shouldn't be? Don't tell me you're into that stray dog, Goldie, from downstairs? Sam looked exasperated. Leo, are you trying to get your ass kicked? I said it's a person. If it's a person, then just go for it. Be bold. He won't say yes. Sam was still staring at me, his gaze holding a strange intensity one couldn't decipher. Growing up, the number of girls who had a crush on Sam was endless. So I didn't believe him. How could they possibly say no? Here, let me give you a plan. It's guaranteed to win over your crush. I'm listening. I decided to mess with him, giving him the worst advice I could think of. If you've got the balls, you just have to go for it. Kisses, hugs, the whole 9 yards. A full-on assault of seduction so they don't even have time to resist. The best-case scenario is they offer themselves up to you. Basically, get them into bed first, then play the victim and beg them to take responsibility. Of course, this whole plan depends on them not calling the cops when they sober up. If they do, don't worry, I'll visit you in jail. Sam didn't get mad at my obviously terrible advice. Instead, he asked me, Leo, would you like to be pursued like that? Me? My first thought was that if some gorgeous girl forced herself on me, I'd be totally into it. But under Sam's gaze, I felt strangely uncomfortable for some reason I couldn't pinpoint. I hid my weird feelings and continued with a grin. I wouldn't hate it. Might even be exciting. Sam suddenly laughed. He lightly patted the leg I had resting on his knee. Just as I instinctively tried to pull away, his hand slid down and gripped my calf. All right, then. I'll do what you said. It was the first time I'd noticed that his hand was big enough to almost wrap completely around my calf. When did this guy get so much bigger than me? I was just kidding. Don't actually go and force yourself on some girl. Yeah, I know. Go wash up. Mike invited us out for his birthday today. I thought you weren't going, so I told him we couldn't make it. But if you're going, then I'm definitely in. Let me just take a shower and we can go. Okay. The topic of his crush was dropped just like that. I didn't think much of it. It just seemed like Sam was in a much better mood after our talk. When he was back to his normal, happy self, I felt happy too for some reason. Best friends, that's just how in sync we are. I pulled my leg back, satisfied, and went to take a shower, completely oblivious to the darkening gaze of the boy behind me. His eyes scanned down my lean back, my lower back, and even further down. His stare was burning. After quickly getting ready, Sam and I headed out. Celebrating Mike's birthday with all our friends meant we were definitely going to go all out. So we agreed to meet up near our old high school. Unfortunately, as Sam and I were cutting through a small alley next to the school, we ran into a group of shady-looking guys. I had just been whining for Sam to buy me an iced Coke from a street vendor, but my face instantly soured. Damn it, we ran into a pile of crap. Back in our cringy middle school days, we used to get into fights in this alley over the dumbest things. Though it usually ended with Sam dragging me home by the collar to do my homework, threatening to end our friendship if I ever fought again. Basically, I had a beef with these thugs. The leader, a guy with red hair, looked a little surprised to see us. Well, if it isn't my man Leo. I couldn't be bothered with him. I grabbed Sam's arm and tried to walk around them. But the asshole blocked our path, his eyes landing on Sam with a sneer. Yo, look who it is, my man Sam. Heard you two are at a top university now. Man, colleges these days, they really don't check people's horoscopes, do they? Aren't they afraid of getting jinxed into bankruptcy? A loud noise echoed as I slammed the can of Coke I just bought right at Red Hair's feet. The soda exploded, splashing everywhere. I stood in front of Sam, my expression cold and foul. Say one more damn word, I dare you. Shit, Leo, you looking for a fight? Red Hair, startled, furiously started to charge at me to settle the score. But just as he lifted his foot, Sam, who had been quiet the whole time, lifted his eyes and shot him a chilling glance. That one look made Red Hair instinctively flinch. A guy in loafers next to him tugged on his shirt and whispered, trying to de-escalate, "Bro, maybe we should just let it go. Sam's dad is..." The moment it became about whose dad was more powerful, Red Hair's eyes cleared up instantly. He mumbled awkwardly, "Damn it, fine. I've got stuff to do today anyway. I'll let you guys off the hook this time. We'll settle this later." I just gave him the middle finger as a friendly gesture. Red Hair gritted his teeth and left. I turned to see if Sam was hurt by what that jerk had said, but his expression hadn't changed much. He even bought me another iced Coke. He pressed the cold can against my flushed face. "Leo, don't be mad." "I'm not mad. They weren't insulting me." "Then why are you so mad that they insulted me?" I looked up and glared at him, but I couldn't bring myself to make it too harsh. Instead, I reached out and gently hooked his chin with my hand, my voice full of sympathy. "Don't listen to those idiots. Sam, you did nothing wrong. You're good luck. You brought me enough luck to get into a top university, and just the other day you helped me win a few $100 on a scratch-off ticket. You're just great." Sam looked down at me, his eyes unblinking. I urged him, "You hear me?" "I hear you," the boy replied. After he spoke, he suddenly leaned down and brushed his sharp nose against mine. "Leo, you're the best." My eyelashes fluttered, but I didn't push him away. I can't quite put my finger on when these strange, intimate moments with Sam started. I remember back during puberty, when Mike and the guys were just starting to have crushes, acting like kids. Sam and I were already way past that. When he was heartbroken over his mom, I'd lie in his arms, being his comfort, and we slept in the same bed more times than I can count. Holding hands, brushing faces, hugging, and all sorts of physical contact. It had all become second nature. During our teenage years, we were even each other's helping hand. We were always together, messing around, and even now in college, it never felt weird. Best friends, childhood buddies, the boy next door. Plus, our fathers were best friends, and we'd been neighbors living upstairs and downstairs from each other for years. It was only natural for us to be this close. That's why I usually went along with whatever he wanted. I didn't want him, the boy who'd lost his mother, to be even the slightest bit unhappy. It's just, when the vendor at the street stall gave us a weird look, I quickly took a few steps back. Ahem, it's kinda hot standing this close. We should get going or Mike's gonna give us crap for being late. Yeah, Sam agreed, his eyes sweeping over my ears, which had turned a little red without me realizing. His Adam's apple bobbed. By the time we finally met up with Mike and the others, it was already afternoon. Our group headed straight for a barbecue joint. When guys get together, besides bragging and teasing each other, there's bound to be some drinking. Except Sam never drank. And he never let me drink either. The time I had one beer and nearly stripped naked to run through the streets was apparently pretty scary for him. But right now I was feeling annoyed, so I just told Mike to pour me a glass. Mike was surprised. Whoa, my man Leo, what's gotten into you today? Nothing, just feel like a drink. Bad mood. Huh? Don't worry, after this I'll take you guys back to my place. We can all appreciate some quality content together. I shot back at him. Annoyed, you're not planning on watching porn again, are you? Mike just chuckled. You bet. I found this amazing European one. It's epic. How could I not share something this good with my best bros? The other guys cheered, saying he was a real one. Mike asked me, Leo, you in? I ignored my pervy friend and raised my glass, ready to chug it. The next second, a hand gently pressed down on my glass. It was wide and large, with well-defined knuckles and attractive, strong veins on the back. Leo, you'll feel sick for days if you drink. How about a soda instead? I kept my eyes down, not looking at Sam. I didn't answer, didn't respond. I just stared at the yellowish beer for a few seconds before smiling and replying to Mike. Hell yeah, I'm in. I've never watched one with you guys before. Mike took a bite of his lamb skewer and grinned even more creepily. But next to me, Sam paused, then pulled his hand away from my glass, as if creating a distance between us. I pursed my lips and turned my head directly to him. Sam, you want to come too? The corners of his mouth pressed down slightly. I knew what that meant. It was a sign he was in a bad mood. Sure enough, his voice was cold and heavy. No, and you're not allowed to go either. Ah, come on. I put down my glass and leaned in close to him, begging in a low voice. Sam, I really want to watch this stuff with you. It'll be so much fun. Please, come with us. I've never seen one before. To be honest, I didn't really want to watch some porn flick. I just don't know when it started. But whenever Sam and I get a little too close, I feel this weird sense of shyness. Like back in that alley. When he brushed his nose against mine, my heart felt like it skipped a beat, and I was hot all over. My face was hot, my ears were hot. But then I remember him saying he has a crush, and my heart instantly goes cold and panicky. I tell myself it's just a brotherly possessiveness acting up. The mix of these hot and cold emotions is just making me incredibly agitated. So weird. So I need to find something exciting to distract myself. Sam was silent for a moment before finally giving in. Fine, I'll go with you. After we finished the barbecue, our group headed over to Mike's house. Mike pulled the curtains, turned off the lights, and cranked up the AC. The living room instantly became cool and dark. Sam and I sat on the outer edge of the couch. The cushion was a bit hard, so I naturally leaned against him. He smelled clean and pleasant. Even in the middle of summer, he barely had any scent of sweat. I looked at Mike and the others, who were already drinking again, and turned away with a scowl. Sam, you have to drink in a vibe like this. If you don't let me have one, our friendship is over. Just half a glass. Sam reluctantly agreed. I immediately snatched half a beer from Mike and started sipping it. Ah, that's the stuff. Is it that good? Try it. It's not strong, kind of sweet, actually. Sam leaned down. I thought he was going to take a drink and even helpfully lifted the glass a little. But he bypassed the glass, his handsome, chiseled face suddenly looming right in front of mine. The moment I froze, his nose twitched, and he sniffed at the corner of my lips. It is sweet. All right, let's watch the movie. It's starting. He straightened up and started watching the movie. I just sat there, clutching the glass, and only turned my head back after a few seconds. but the heat in my ears and on my face was definitely not normal. Damn it. Mike said his AC was some fancy $20,000 import. He was definitely lying, because it wasn't cooling anything at all. But the movie Mike had saved was actually pretty good. The moment the main actors kissed, the guys started hooting and hollering like crazy. I don't know what kind of filming technique they used, but the sound, when played out loud, was surprisingly effective. But for some reason, I was completely unmoved, because my attention was gradually being drawn to Sam's breath on the side of my face. Warm and intimate, when he was smelling the beer earlier, a little bit of his breath had gotten into my mouth. "Leo, what's wrong?" Sam suddenly asked in a low voice. I shook my head and pulled back a little, saying dryly, "Nothing, just a little hot. Mike's AC must be a fake. The cooling is terrible." Sam let out a soft, muffled laugh. He raised his hand and touched my face. His fingertips were cool, but that just made me hotter. Suddenly, the air around me felt suffocating, and a thin layer of sweat broke out on my back. In the end, even after the entire movie was over, I couldn't remember a single thing that happened in Mike's prized collection. Instead, my mind was consumed with wondering what brand of toothpaste Sam used. Smelled so damn good. Wait a minute. I'm a guy. Is it right for me to be this obsessed with what's in my bro's mouth? I passed on Mike and the guys planned to watch it again and got ready to head home with Sam. I was busy trying to cool down and didn't dare to look him in the eye. He was quiet, but his gaze kept unintentionally landing on my ass. It wasn't until we were standing at my front door, and I was fumbling for my keys with Sam standing behind me, that things changed. The door opened. I didn't go in. Annoyed, I turned around, hesitating. "Sam, should we?" Maybe because he hadn't spoken the whole way home. His voice was a little dry and hoarse. I bit my lip, the words on the tip of my tongue changing as they came out. "Want to watch that movie again?" Mike and the guys were so loud, I didn't get to see it properly. "And my parents are out tonight." Sam's eyes darkened. He put a hand on my shoulder and pushed me straight through the door. Okay. As I sat on my bed, I started to wonder if I'd been kicked in the head by a donkey. Why on earth would I spontaneously invite my childhood best friend over to watch this kind of movie? But hey, we'd already helped each other out plenty of times before. Watching a movie together alone now was no big deal. Just a small thing. I managed to stay calm. I even snuck 2 of my dad's beers out of the fridge. "You're drinking more?" "Yeah, don't worry, we're at my place. Even if I get wasted, the worst I can do is pass out in my room. I definitely won't be running naked in the streets and embarrassing you." I swore confidently. Only then did Sam allow me to let loose. After getting the file from Mike, I sat leaning against the headboard with him to watch. It was the same movie. Without the others screaming, the feeling was suddenly even more indescribable. I'm not talking about the movie. I'm talking about Sam's presence, his scent, his breath. It was all so much more intense. All I could do was chug beer like crazy to suppress that weird, unsettling feeling. Naturally, I drank too much. My head was spinning. I don't even know when I ended up with my head on Sam's thigh. "Sam, it's loud. Turn that crappy movie off." "Not watching anymore?" the boy asked, gently playing with my hair. Felt so good I just closed my eyes. Drunk, I crossed my legs in an incredibly awkward position. "Yeah, don't want to. It's boring." Sam glanced down and asked, "Leo, what do you think would be interesting right now?" I irritably bumped his stomach with my head. "Don't play dumb. I know you got worked up too." "I did." "What do you mean, I did? You never used to be like this. You're so cold now?" "So I want my help?" One of Sam's hands rested on my stomach, pressing down lightly. I let out a drunken hiccup, my usual bravado kicking in. No, that's not what I meant. Don't get the wrong idea." Sam said, "Oh," and asked, "So you don't need help?" "Hey." I glared at him with blurry eyes. Seeing how annoyed I was, Sam stopped teasing me. "I'll help you. Only you." Then, he lifted up my t-shirt, but that night, things spun out of control. Maybe it was the alcohol or maybe it was the stimulation from the movie, but my head was in a fog. When Sam got up to go wash his hands in the bathroom, I suddenly grabbed the hem of his shirt. Through hazy, drunken eyes, I asked him a strange question. Sam, will we always be this close? What? He didn't hear my mumble and bent down again. I mean, if you start dating someone, if you get with your crush, will you still be like this with me? Sam's expression turned strange. Like he was happy, excited, but he didn't show it too much. But his gaze was terrifying. Leo, what do you mean by that? Is this a brotherly possessiveness thing? I stared at him, my emotions running high. Would you ditch your brother for a girlfriend? Or, to avoid any misunderstandings with your girlfriend, would you stop helping me out? If you dare, we're done right now. Sam wiped the corner of my red-rimmed eye with his thumb, his voice soft and coaxing. Kiss me and I'll tell you. Kiss you? Isn't that something your girlfriend is supposed to do? But we've hugged, we've slept in the same bed, and we were just so close a minute ago. A kiss is nothing. Haven't you kissed your parents' cheeks before? Huh? I tried to sober up, to find my sanity. But Sam started running his fingers through my hair again, and I was so comfortable I lost all sense of direction. He was right. I often kiss my parents on the cheek when I get excited. Sam has been my best friend for so many years he's practically family. So kissing him once seems pretty normal, right? I propped myself up and leaned in, aiming for his cheek. I don't know how it happened, but Sam turned his head at that exact moment, and my lips landed right on the corner of his. Smelled nice. I dazedly rubbed against it. What was this? The next second, before I could react, my lips were bitten hard, and a large hand slammed me down into the soft bed. After that, I think I struggled a bit, and then all I could do was curse. When I woke up the next day, I stared blankly at my bedroom ceiling. I give up. Why did my mom install a light fixture with such a huge reflective surface? It perfectly mirrored the messy bed and my soul-crushed reflection with way too much clarity. I wanted to just gouge my eyes out and then hail a cab to escape Earth. Just as I was contemplating the feasibility of this escape plan, the bedroom door opened. It was Sam. He was only wearing a pair of pants, and they were gray sweatpants, for crying out loud. I didn't need to look closely to know he was going commando. It was absolutely indecent, a vulgar sight. Seeing me lying there with a blank expression, Sam walked over with a glass of water. "You're awake?" I let out a cold laugh, my voice a hoarse, grating rasp, and retorted sarcastically, "What? I'm not supposed to be awake? You are. Want some water first?" As he spoke, he tried to help me sit up. I slapped his hand away and tried to sit up on my own with sheer willpower. The moment my ass took the pressure, I nearly launched myself into the air. But my legs wouldn't cooperate and I fell back down. After a few tries, Sam finally placed a pillow under my butt, and I was able to sit up stably. My masculine pride was completely shattered. My face went from red to green to black. I wanted to throw a fit but didn't have the energy. After forcing down half a glass of water, all I wanted was for Sam to get the hell out of my house. Get out. Call a cab and get out. He didn't leave. Instead, he crouched in front of me like a big dog. "Leo, you slept with me last night while you were drunk. You have to take responsibility. Are you even speaking English? Who slept with whom? You slept with me." I gritted my teeth. What kind of bullshit is that? But this was the method you taught me. You can't go back on your word. You son of a— Wait a minute. Shaking with anger, I suddenly realized something, my eyelid twitching. "Sam, that person you said you liked but shouldn't— Was it me?" "Yeah, it's you. Leo, I like you. I'm in love with you, another guy. Seduction, temptation, hooking up, and then feigning responsibility. It was all my own terrible advice. And now my friend, who I just realized was gay for me, was using it on me. He confessed. A few days ago, I finally confirmed my feelings for you. I was terrified. I didn't know how to face you or even talk to you. I was afraid you'd get mad, that you'd ignore me, so I could only secretly plan how to win you over. So while I was worried he was depressed about his mom, he was actually thinking about how to trick me, how to get in my pants. I'm a guy. I'm a guy." I tried to hold it in. I really couldn't. I balled up a fist and smashed it right into his face, furious and frustrated. "You really are a son of a bitch." I kicked Sam out of my house and declared our friendship over. It was him or me. After that, I bailed on all basketball games and hangout sessions, just lying around at home all day. The pain of not being able to use the bathroom properly was a misery only I knew. When my parents got back from their business trip and saw my foul mood, they asked with concern, "Why are you so constipated all of a sudden?" I kept a straight face. "It's the heat. It's all Sam's fault anyway. I'm done with him." "Oh? What did you do to make him mad this time?" I was indignant. Couldn't it be that he did something to make me mad? Like, he. I didn't know how to explain it and deflated again. "Never mind. It's nothing. Please don't ask." My mom didn't press further. She just looked at me thoughtfully and exchanged a look with my dad, who was watching TV. Afraid they'd notice something was off, I retreated to my room. But I had to vent my frustration to someone. So I grabbed my phone. Ignoring Sam's messages, I opened my chat with my trusted bro, Mike. "Bro, I have a friend. A guy confessed to him and then they got drunk and slept together. What should he do in this situation?" "Mike." "What?" Mike immediately called me. I was deeply moved. This is what a real friend is, so eager to help me solve my problems. I answered with a sense of gratitude. The first thing out of his mouth was, "Leo, what bastard kissed you and slept with you?" I told you. "You're so pretty and have such delicate skin. You should be wearing an iron chastity belt when you go out to ward off the gays. Why don't you ever listen?" I denied it with a straight face. I said it was a friend, dude. "Do you know what the word friend means?" Mike just chuckled. Usually when people say a friend, they mean themselves, don't they? I gritted my teeth. I swear on Sam's honor and all his abilities, it's definitely not me." "Oh, well, in that case, it's definitely not you. After all, everyone at the bathhouse agrees Sam's hardware is #1. Damn it. So what should my friend do?" "Nothing, man. It's not that big of a deal." I lamented, easy for you to say. If my friend rejects him, they definitely can't be friends anymore. But if he accepts, then he'd be gay, right? Two guys, are they just gonna bang heads for the rest of their lives? Mike laughed like a quacking duck. Quack, quack, quack. Ha ha ha, don't overthink it. It all just depends on whether your friend likes him back. If he doesn't, just say he's straight and cut him off. It's better for both of you to just go your separate ways. If he does like him, then just accept it. Gay is gay, it's not a big deal these days. I sighed in frustration. Can't they just go back to being friends? Could you handle having a best friend who's always staring at your ass? I fell silent. He was right, I couldn't. It would be too weird. Too awkward. Mike continued, "True feelings can't just be downgraded to friendship. But the most important thing right now is, does your friend like that guy?" I rubbed my face and finally mumbled, "I don't know. He doesn't know if he likes him or not. He really, really doesn't want to lose that friend." While I was aimlessly hiding from Sam, the anniversary of his mother's death arrived. In previous years, I was always the one who went with him to the cemetery. I'd stay by his side the whole time, trying to make him laugh, dealing with his annoying relatives, just trying to make him feel a little better. But now, with our relationship in this state, I had no idea how to act around him. All I could do was send him a text saying I had something to do and couldn't make it. But soon after, there was a knock on my door. I opened it and it was Sam. He looked down at me. "Leo, you said you'd always be with me from now on." I was in the right, but my voice lacked conviction. "You have the nerve to say that? My back is still killing me today. I think I might have a slipped disc, so I need to go to the hospital." "Okay, I get it." Sam didn't push it and started to turn away. But the flicker of pain that crossed his face caught my eye, and my heart instantly softened. I couldn't be harsh with him. I gritted my teeth. "Sam, wait. Let me grab a jacket, I'll go with you." The boy stopped in his tracks. He turned back. Maybe he was afraid I'd flip out or get angry, or maybe he was just a predator patiently waiting for his prey to walk into the trap. Whatever the reason, he didn't approach rashly. He just stood a few steps up the stairs, looking at me. And who was the one who pinched my waist so hard the marks haven't faded for days? What's this big bad wolf doing playing the innocent puppy? Okay. I pointed at him from a distance, both angry and frustrated. "Sam, you just know I'm a sucker for you. It's because you're a good person." Sam replied, his eyes full of affection. The nameless frustration and confusion that had been bottled up inside me for days suddenly vanished. Damn it, this dog Sam. Ever since he got a taste of it, he's become so smooth. We took a car to the cemetery. Sam's dad and the driver chatted occasionally in the front. Sam and I sat side by side in the back, not saying a word. But after a short while, I took out my phone with a cold expression and started typing angrily. Can you stop looking at me? What's wrong? What do you mean, what's wrong? Are you trying to let everyone know two guys slept together? Why not? I shot a shocked glance to my left. Sam met my gaze calmly. If you're not happy about it, you can tell everyone you slept with me. I don't mind. As if he had any right to mind or not. He has no shame. I cursed him in my head, but a small smile crept onto my lips. Even my typing felt a little more cheerful. Get lost. Aren't you afraid your dad will break your legs? If he breaks my legs, will you let me pursue you? You're insane. Do you even know what that means? I do. So, can I pursue you? If you feel uncomfortable, I'll stop, and we can go back to being friends. Screw you. Leo, I like you. The driver gently tapped the brakes, and I lurched forward slightly from the momentum before falling back into my seat. In that moment, my mind was crystal clear. If my dad and your dad team up to beat you up, you better be smart enough to stay away. I won't go soft and help you. In my 20-odd years of life, Sam's presence was as important as my parents. I didn't want to lose him as a friend. It's just dating, right? We can give it a try. He said we could stop and go back to being friends if it gets uncomfortable. I didn't need to make things so tense between us. The next second, my left hand, which was resting casually on the car seat, was taken. Under the cover of his jacket, he sensually squeezed my fingers, one by one, gently stroking them. It had nothing to do with friendship. It was all ambiguity and flirtation. I let him do it, my face a mask of calm as I turned to look out the window, but my heart was racing like crazy. That weird feeling was back, stronger and more obvious than before. Maybe this is what liking someone feels like. Since Sam's father and a lot of relatives were also at the cemetery, we behaved ourselves and didn't get too touchy-feely. I helped him wipe the tombstone and clear the weeds, just like every other year. We sat there quietly for a while. Once we were back in the car, Sam buried his face in my neck and didn't say a word. When the driver got in, he glanced at him in the rearview mirror, not thinking much of it. His eyes held a look of pity I couldn't quite decipher. I leaned forward, using my body to block his line of sight. Sam wasn't pitiful. He was amazing on his own. He has a great dad, a bunch of good friends, and my parents treat him like their own son. And now he has me. I'll be with him, always. After a few gloomy days at home, Sam's mood finally lifted. As usual, I went upstairs to hang out with him, to cheer him up. My parents didn't say much, just told me to be good and go along with what Sam wanted. I scoffed. I was already going along with him plenty. On the surface, I was playing games with him to help him relax, but behind the scenes, we were kissing and hugging. If his dad hadn't been home these past few days, I bet Sam would have been even bolder. It's not that I didn't resist, but all he had to do was lower his eyelashes, put on that innocent act, and I couldn't bring myself to be harsh. I just obediently opened my mouth for his kisses. It got to the point where my tongue hurt whenever I drank water. Damn it, this relationship had absolutely no boundaries, but it felt so good. As I was heading upstairs, I ran into Sam's dad, who was just about to leave. He looked at me with gratitude and relief. If it weren't for you being here with Sam, I really don't know what I'd do. I smiled. Don't worry, I'll definitely cheer him up. Sam's dad patted my shoulder. Suddenly, he noticed the red mark on my neck. Leo, your neck. Ahem. I explained a bit unnaturally, a mosquito bite. The mosquitoes have been terrible since I got back for the summer. Is that so? Do mosquitoes leave bite marks now? I scrambled for an excuse while Sam's dad silently waited for my flimsy explanation. We stared at each other. Finally, he broke the stalemate and started to leave. I breathed a sigh of relief and was about to walk him downstairs when the older man waved his hand. His expression was strange. No need. I'm not in a hurry to get to the office anymore. I feel like I need to stop by your place first. Are your parents home? Yeah, they haven't left yet. Good. The three of us need to talk about something. You and Sam go on and play. Sam's dad sighed, gave me one last look, and went downstairs. I scratched my head, confused. We didn't get caught, did we? Otherwise, his dad would have already exploded. I told Sam about the little incident, and a subtle glint flashed in his eyes. Don't overthink it. My dad doesn't understand things between two guys, but I still feel like something's not right. It's fine. If it comes down to a beating, you can just hide behind me. As he spoke, he grabbed my collar and pulled me in for a kiss, making it impossible for me to think about anything else. As he gently played with my hair, I closed my eyes and sighed to myself. Being in a relationship is so damn good. I even regret not getting together with Sam the moment we started college. Think of all the romantic years we missed. I lay lazily on his lap and asked, Sam, why do you like me? I don't remember. It's probably been a long time. By the time I realized I liked you, it was too late to change. The other day, when I saw that girl talking to you, I felt terrible. I really don't want you to be with any other girl. The other day referred to the day before he suddenly went into his shell. We had gone out to play basketball. A girl, egged on by her friends, asked for my contact info. Out of politeness, I gave it to her. When I turned around, Sam's face was thunderous. He wouldn't tell me what was wrong. He left in a huff before the game was even over. And then he shut himself away for nearly a week. Mike and the others thought I had made him mad, and even I believed it. I never would have guessed he was jealous. Ha ha ha, you sure make a big scene when you're jealous, don't you? Are you still jealous? I can graciously comfort you if you want. Don't be mad, sweetie. Maybe I was laughing a little too hard. Sam, looking embarrassed, raised his hand and covered my eyes so I couldn't see him. Leo, stop it. He leaned down and shut me up with another kiss. Deprived of my sight, I could only subconsciously melt into his embrace, completely missing how the shyness on Sam's face had vanished, replaced by a deep possessiveness. It was utterly obsessive. Once Sam was completely out of his funk, we started going out and having fun all the time. At night, we'd go home like good boys. But for a couple in the honeymoon phase, even living just one floor apart was too difficult. So the corner of the stairwell became our spot for lingering goodbyes. Sam was the one who found this perfect location. I thought we were being really discreet. We were just waiting until we went back to school at the end of the summer to really start dating properly. Until, near the end of the break, our two families went out for dinner. During the meal, I deliberately acted like just friends with Sam, with no hint of romance. It wasn't that I hadn't thought about telling our parents. I was just afraid it would get messy, so I figured I'd hide it for as long as I could. When I told Sam my plan, he didn't say much, just stroked my hair with a faint, knowing smile. At the dinner table, the three parents kept bringing up funny stories about us as kids. The atmosphere was quite pleasant, except my dad, who had always adored Sam, was being a little cold towards him. The way he looked at Sam was like he was looking at a pig who had just ruined his prize-winning cabbage. I whispered to him, "Did you do something to piss off my dad?" "No." "Then why does he look at you like he can't stand you?" "You'll probably find out soon." I was confused. A few days later, my house was unexpectedly burglarized. My dad called the police right away. The officers said the thief might have cased the joint beforehand. Luckily, we had a security camera at our front door, so they were planning to pull the footage from the last few days. My eyelids suddenly twitched as I realized something. I immediately covered the camera, trying to stop them from watching, but my mom told me not to cause trouble. And then, in front of all the parents and police officers, the footage of Sam and me making out in the stairwell was publicly displayed. Damn it, it even showed the part where I was kissed so hard my legs went weak. I was ready to face my doom, waiting for the punishment. Sam just raised an eyebrow. The police officers were dumbfounded. Only the three parents remained completely calm, as if they'd known all along. "Sorry about that. The kids are just a little carried away with their new relationship." Afterward, I carefully asked my mom, "Mom, you guys aren't mad? What's there to be mad about?" We saw this coming a mile away. It's just a little embarrassing. Then maybe next time you can have some self-respect and be the one to kiss Sam until his legs go weak? We've already lost our dignity. Can't we at least keep some face? I was stunned. Then it dawned on me, and I was overcome with a joy I couldn't express. I gave both my parents a huge kiss on the cheek. Just you wait. I'm going on a date with Sam right now, and you can wait for news of my victory. That night, Sam was calling me honey while asking, "Honey, are we going home tonight?" I kicked him weakly. My eyes glazed over. No, I'm afraid my parents will say I'm an embarrassment